This is a review of the OtterBox Defender series case for the iPad Air. Inside the box, you'll find the OtterBox Defender. It's one of the best cases ever made. The lid pops off. We'll go over that in a second. And then here you see the case that goes around the outside of your iPad Air. Case, empty, weighs 1 pound, 1 1/4 ounces. First thing you want to do is open up all the flaps on the case, because you're going to have a hard time getting the case off of the inner case, the outer case off the inner case, with the flaps closed. So you have to open those up first. What you want to do is lift out the piece that covers the home button and gently take out the synthetic rubber case out of the groove that goes around the case. As you can see, I'm peeling the outer case off the inner polycarbonate shell. Easier to stick my fingers where these flaps came out of and lift up and get the outer case starting to peel off the inside. Now that you got this outer shell off, you see the inside polycarbonate is actually two pieces. There's a back and there's a front. The inside of this is covered with foam to help prevent shocks to your iPad, and on top of here you have a clear cover screen that will cover the face of your iPad Air and protect it from scratches. Now what you want to do is you want to gently pry apart the case. I usually start here because I can get my fingers in here pretty easy, and you lift up gently on these larger tabs. They're locked into the side, so you have to be very careful. And then there are two large ones and two smaller clips, and you just slowly work your way around the case, gently lifting those up, making sure not to break them off. You can see them pop off very slowly. See the top and the bottom of the polycarbonate case. Here you can see a memory foam. You can see my fingerprint in there. It's not very thick, but it's just enough to protect your iPad from being scratched and being bumped hard when it's dropped. Here you have this clear screen. You want to make sure that when you put this onto your iPad, that the screen is clean. Sometimes you'll get them and there'll be a little smudge on it or something from the factory. Make sure you get that off, because whatever's on the inside of this, you're not going to clean once you get the case put together. Now you're going to put the iPad Air into the case. Clean the screen before you do this. I also suggest that you not leave this laying down and open for a long time. If your house is like ours, you've got dust every place. If dust settles on here, it's going to be on the inside of the case. I take a very soft microfiber cloth, like so, and I gently wipe and make sure all the dust is out of there. I hate to suggest this, but sometimes it's necessary. If you got fingerprints or grease you just can't get off, take one of these alcohol swabs and just open it up, and very quickly just hit the spots that are the dirtiest, get it just a little bit wet, and then take your microfiber cloth and wipe it off and dry it. Got that done. You want to take the top piece and just lay on top of the assembly and start slowly pressing around the outsides, and you hear it popping together as you go around. See, the inner shell is in place. When you do this, make sure that you check all the places where the case snaps together. There are quite a few of them, and make sure they're all tightly locked together so the iPad is totally protected. Just go around the outside of the case and check them all. You see little arrows? These arrows point to every one of those latches that you should be checking to make sure that they're closed. There are 12 of these latches. It comes time to put the case inside the soft part of the case again, and you just gently want to set it in there and start tucking in the edge. You'll see here a groove that goes all the way around. There's a lip in the rubber polyurethane piece. It fits in that groove. You can see I've got the outer polyurethane tucked in, except for down here at the bottom. You can see here the home button is sticking up, and there's little tabs on the sides. Just make sure you tuck that in there securely. What you're doing when you do that properly is you're making a good seal. And you also want to check all these little flaps that you opened up before. You can close them. Like here's your left and right stereo speakers and your charging port for the lightning cable. You can tuck that in there, and it provides dust and water protection from spills and dirt. Here's the other one. You can see all the controls are nicely located, up and down volume and the rotation lock. And here we have the top microphone, front-facing microphone. The headphones jack is here on the corner, which I'm going to tuck that in there now. And on the back side, you can see here that you have your Apple logo showing. a nice cutout for the camera, and the rear-facing mic. Things I like about this is that this case here has a nice textured feel on the synthetic rubber. I have bought about 8 of these cases for myself and other people. The first one I have, and the one I'm using now on an iPad 3, this part here was smooth. It shows every scratch and mark. We have another one like this one where the surface is roughed up and a little bit textured. It's easier to hold, easier to get a good grip on, and it doesn't show the scratches and wear as much. You see the top lid that fits on here that protects it when you're carrying it. It's really a great idea because if you drop it, it's totally protected. But I'm going to point out something to you. This is the lid for the new iPad Air. This is the lid for an iPad 2. You see a difference? Yeah, the magnets. These magnets are important. When you snap the lid on an iPad 2 or 3, it turns off the screen and puts it to sleep and wakes it up. Why would you leave them out of this one, baby? $89 and no magnets. That just cost you a star. One of the nice things about this lid is not only does it hold your iPad, it acts as a working surface. You can pop this up here in the middle, rest your iPad in here, and when you do so, you have a nice typing angle or reading angle that you can use to work with. In addition, you can take this and stand it like so, if you like, or you can flip this around and have almost a vertical mode, which is much nicer to watch your videos with, or it's nice to read newspapers or read a book. In addition, you can take this and stand it up this way and use it in the portrait mode if you like. It looks like from the side, this is the portrait mode, and this is the landscape mode. Here you can see I've got it laying down. I'm going to pop the lid on. This is very nice to carry it with. You heard how hard it snapped on there. Everything's protected, and so you have a nice surface on top and bottom to carry your iPad Air with. Pop up the corner here, and just to show you, it didn't turn off because OtterBox decided to take out $1 worth of magnets. Overall, this is a nice case. It looks like OtterBox finally got the screen right. It's nice and clear. The ones I purchased in the past, the screen was so slightly textured that it made the Retina display look slightly pixelated. This one's not like this. This case here, in my opinion, would have been perfect except the magnets. Because of that, I'm going to give this a 4-star rating. I don't like getting a case that's the new and advanced one and have them take away features that are important. This device has cases available that do put the display asleep. I've got several of them, and it's just ridiculous that other people have done this already. I've had cases now for several months that have that feature, and OtterBox doesn't have it. The only reason not to have these magnets in here, in my opinion, is this case was rushed to market, and they wanted to get it out for the Christmas sales. Frankly, I'm picking up the phone as soon as I finish this video and calling OtterBox and asking for another case. It was done by JJ CEO. I rate this product at 4 stars.